Almost got through it. Apologies to Jimmy Webb, who's still active, still out there. Did the best I could, Jim. Just taking a look at Galveston. Nice tune from the 60s. If you're not too familiar with Jimmy Webb, he was kind of like a little bit like Lennon and McCartney rolled into one in the 60s, moving into the 70s and the 80s. I mean, he's still out there. I'm sure he's still writing great stuff. But just a small sampling of his tunes would be By the Time I Get to Phoenix, Wichita Lineman, Didn't We, The Worst That Could Happen, one of the most loved and most hated songs of all time, maybe, MacArthur Park, which I love. All my friends hate it. He just wrote a bunch of great stuff. He wrote The Highwayman, which was performed by the group called The Highwaymen, Johnny Cash, Waylon Jennings, Chris Christopherson, and Willie Nelson. Let's just take a look at the lead sheet. If you read notes, this will give you an idea of the melody. I mean, it's a pretty simple melody. It's not a simple tune, but it's a pretty simple melody. You could probably pick it out by ear if you're interested, if you like the tune. This is a lead sheet from some old 60s music book. The nice thing about the tune, if you just take a look at the chord changes, I just kind of sketched them out, and I see there being two main key centers, two main keys that the tune moves through. In the blue pen, well, black pen, I guess it's black pen, you know, everything's in the key of C major. It starts out in the key of C major. And then, just to give you an idea where it modulates, in the green is where it modulates to a different key. And at first you might think that it's modulating kind of a minor third or 3 frets up from C major to E flat, but I don't think it is. I think it's actually, at this point here with the first E flat major, that's kind of the 4 chord in the key of B flat major. So what's happening is we're in the 4 of the new key, B flat major, moving to the 5, back to the 4, okay. We go here to the 6 chord, the G minor. We're back to the 4 chord. Now we've got a 2-5 in B flat. Now this is kind of a little vague. This is the 2 chord in C major, but what would it be? It would also be the 3 chord in B flat. And of course, this is not in the key of C major. The C minor 7, this is the 2 chord again in the key of B flat, and then now we're back home. Now we're back home into 4, 5, 1, and C, and he just kind of stays in C for the rest of the song until we get to the very end, and he plops in this A major kind of out of nowhere, but it sounds great. And that's it. So if we just take a look at a very simple chord melody, I tell you, I simplified the chord melody, and even at that, I haven't practiced it enough, so it's on me. Let's just do a simple version, this little intro. The notes are G, A, G, E, D, C, and then hang on a C chord. Let's do a 4, 5, F to G, and now we've got the open cowboy C chord, all the way through to the open E. Put the pinky down for the G. Now, we've got an A note over an F major chord, so we're going to do this little, I'm borrowing the first 3, I've got the middle finger on the second string F. Come down here, we're going to have a G note over a G major chord. So I'm borrowing the first 2, and I've got the middle finger this time on the 3rd string, on the B. So it's kind of like you're doing a 3-string bar with this on the 2nd string for that first chord, and then you just keep you keep this bar, but you move down 2 frets, and you put the middle finger on the 3rd string instead of the 2nd string. So it's kind of an A over F major and a G over G major, and then we land on all-purpose bar chord C major with the E as our melody. So the melody is, and with the chords it's going to be. Now this is nice. It moves into a C major 7. So I'll come back and talk about that in a few minutes, but basically just do a nice simple C major 7. It's a C cowboy without the index. Now we're going to have the top few notes of a C7. So all this is open E along with C, B flat, and E. Okay? Now we're kind of back to F major. 3rd string A up to the 2nd string C. We play that back again. Here it is with the chords again. This changes to C major 7, C7, that's the F major. Now a little walk down, F, E, D. This is A on the 3rd string, C on the 2nd string. It's actually D minor 7 chord, back to C major, E, D, E, G, back to F major, A, C, walk down again from F to D, A minor with the E on top. Now this is nice, it's an F major over G. So the F major over G is just if you do your Melbay F major, but instead of the ring finger here, put the pinky there and use the ring finger for the G. You're blotting out the 5th string. Okay, so the first ending is just F, G, then you're back again. Same. C7, F major. Sometimes I walk down on the 6th, but when I get to the D, of course, it's kind of jarring because I can't go down that low. F over G. Now let's go to the middle section, which is nice and interesting. F, C, E flat major 7. Pick goes all the way through the 1st string B flat note. Move up to an F bar chord, 2nd string, 3rd string, back to the E flat major only as far as the 2nd string G. minor 7, G minor 9, G minor 7, slightly out of tune there, sorry about that. This is just an E flat major 7 with going through to the first string. And is she waiting there for me? Change it to a C minor, F9, and then go to this B flat major 7, the root is on the 5th string. D minor 7, F on top, D minor 7, D on top, just play a B flat, now come back to C minor 7, bar, all 6, F, G, now we're back home in the key of C major. F with C on top, G major with D, C major, underlying a melody that goes E, D, C, C major 7, C7, F, F major, D minor, A minor, oh, sorry, try it again from the A minor, that's F major, and the melody is A up to C, now E minor, melody goes B down to G, now we've got B over D minor 7, A over D minor 7, at Galveston, here's that weird A major, works beautifully, F over G, but I always forget to do this. Okay, all that is the melody goes, at Galveston. So I have to remember, instead of going here for the F over G, I have to go here at the end. Ah, here it is. Now if we want to end with the same little, and then you could also do harmony. Okay, so really nice tune, Galveston. There was apparently, I think in the early 1900s, there was a really, really bad, disastrous flood in Galveston, Texas. I think that's what it's about. I still hear your sea winds blowing. I still see her dark eyes glowing. She was 21 when I left Galveston. That's the thing, when you look at songs like The Worst That Could Happen, MacArthur Park, which, you know, I have a couple of friends who hate the song. One of them's a former literature professor, and he just hates all the imagery and he hates the words. I love it. I think it's, you know, it's really, for a pop song in the 60s with an actor who really wasn't, you know, famous as a singer, to have that record with Richard Harris, I just think it's remarkable. And one of the things that happens here in Galveston is what happens an awful lot, a lot more in MacArthur Park, is that, you know, it starts out in 4/4 time signature, and then we get over here, we've got 2/4, and it's back to 4/4, you know, and it's 2/4. It's shifting time signatures, which John Lennon did instinctively. I don't think he knew too much about music theory, but he did a lot of that in his songs. He'd leave out a beat, leave out a measure. So I think one of the things that's nice about this is it reminded me almost when I was learning and seeing where the key centers are. If you think of Derek and the Dominoes' Layla, it's got this intro. It's all in D minor. It's all based around D minor, and that's the intro. Legend has it that Dwayne Allman kind of thought up the intro thinking of the first few vocal melody notes from Albert King's As the Years Go Passing By. I think the Albert King is more like, and I think it's in a different key, but yeah. So he took it down here. But the cool thing is to centered around D minor. And then when the vocal first starts, it drops down a half step or a fret. What do you do when you get lonely? Nobody's waiting by your side. So that's kind of a nice shift that happens right at the outset of the vocal verse. Galveston, you know, it's all around C major. Now we're into B flat major territory. I've got this Sire Strat now, so I can do a little bit of this 60s stuff, get my venture thing going. G minor 7. This is kind of high up. Anyway, let me know if you have any questions. I think it's a nice tune. Not overly complicated, but beautiful. Again, the idea that he wrote all of his own lyrics, his own melodies, his own harmonies. I'm trying to think. I know there's a lot of other hit records that he had. Highwayman is remarkable. It's about reincarnation, and it's about a criminal who's been a criminal in every one of his lives. And what's cool is you have the group, and you know, Johnny Cash takes one verse, Christopherson takes another, Willie Nelson takes another, and Waylon Jennings takes another. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't. Please throw me a like. It helps an awful lot. And otherwise, I'll talk at you next time. Have fun. Keep practicing. Bye-bye.